approximately 21 million female immigrants currently live in America. With little to no job opportunities, many immigrant women resort to informal ways of employment in order to support their families and pursue their dream of success in the United States. With biases already skewed against women as they pursue this success, it becomes even harder to be successful as an immigrant woman. With the help of nonprofit organization La Cocina in San Francisco, California, immigrant women and women of color are given the rare chance to grow and formalize their food businesses in a space that supports them every step of the way, allowing these women to provide for their families while also pursuing their dreams.
La Cocina is a nonprofit food business incubator. We work primarily with working class immigrant women and women of color to grow and formalize food businesses, and we provide them with industry-specific technical assistance as well as affordable commercial kitchen space to help them translate their vision into reality. Women in particular have, for centuries and really all of history, been a really strong point of connection and nourishment in families and in communities, and we find that there are a lot of families, especially immigrant families, who pursue opportunities for revenue and financial freedom via selling food, and I often see women at the helm of that. If you look at the different opportunities that are afforded to women in terms of ownership and in terms of actually having capital, it's way lower than men. So we wanted to make sure we were focusing on women because they are already skewed against in our current capitalistic structure, and obviously also have such a strong tie to their communities and to their families.
La Cocina started out of a need for basically seeing women entrepreneurs selling informally on the street, and they didn't really have an avenue to formalize their business. So a lot of these women could be undocumented or not, and they lived sort of constantly in fear, serving illegally or selling illegally on the street. The idea is not just access to a place to cook formally, it's also access to what permits are you going to need, what licenses, all of the different things that they need to do in order to legally sell food.
Women-owned businesses are much less likely to receive loans than male-owned businesses. There's a lot of bias against women of being both a homemaker and a business owner, right? That's not one and the same, and there's a lot of bias and prejudice against women who want to do both. I think that starting a business is hard enough, and then when you add in anyone with any marginalized identity, you just have a million different layers of why that becomes harder.
We started selling out of our small studio in Nob Hill in San Francisco, and started doing catering events, farmers markets, and just always being a hardworking woman. My name is Diana Perez. I'm one of the owners here at El Huarache Loco. It can be a bit difficult for women, especially immigrant women, because of the barriers between language and communicating and financial support. But I think there's programs like La Cocina which help not just women but everyone. Being in La Cocina, you've seen so many women and so many different stories that, it's almost when you go through that program, nothing is impossible.
I've been here 7 years now. I'm the owner of Caima Asian Restaurant.
My name is Dilsa Lugo and I'm the owner of Los Cilantros. The first time I thought about opening a restaurant, it was when we just came here in 2003 and we was trying to find some very good Mexican food. It was really hard to find the way that we used to eat in Mexico, bringing some food for people who are missing the flavors from Mexico.
When I came here, just as an immigrant woman, I was working full-time in the industry, step after step, and I started thinking, I said, oh, okay, I can do it because we are the only Asian cuisine here in San Francisco. And that's what made me think about it and go for it.
As a woman, it's hard everywhere with a language that is not yours, in a country that is not yours, with kids, with a very small budget. The banks, they don't lend you money because it's a food industry. It's very, very hard to succeed.
It wasn't easy, working in the industry, just fighting to prove myself, fighting and standing for myself.
This is a very male-dominated industry, a very white male-dominated industry. It's been an ongoing battle, like it's still a battle, but I hope that we can create more spaces like this for women. I think it's so important, it's so needed. It doesn't take a lot of space, but just providing space for women, for mothers to build their businesses on their terms.
10 years, I see myself maybe open like a seated restaurant here in San Francisco, provide cooking class to keep that connection with community.
Have time to have a business, but having time for my family and balance that, for me, that's enough. I have a place to live, I have my kids in college, so that's, for me, that's success.
Like this small space, I'm able to pay my rent. I put my daughter through college, like so many things. Like it doesn't take much. Like this small kiosk, I've been able to accomplish a lot and been able to survive and live in San Francisco. So yes, I am forever thankful to La Cocina for that.
Seeing that my mom was able to open a restaurant, especially in North Bay and of this size, it's very inspiring. So I know I can, if she did it, I can do it too. I believe she did achieve her dream by opening this restaurant. When I look around me, I see family and I see like all these customers that are usual. Being where we're at now, that's the American dream for us.